G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well. Hope you're ready for a cocktail showdown. I'm tying in a few things here. This is going live on Cosmo Day 2021, Cosmopolitan Day. Most alcoholic beverages have their day, very arbitrary thing, but it's an excuse, gives me an idea of what to make for a video. And I'm tying this in with my ongoing series of improving vodka cocktails by not using vodka. Namely, vodka is bullshit. And again, little disclaimer, I'm not ragging on you if you enjoy drinking vodka. It's just as a cocktail ingredient, it brings nothing to the party. It gets you drunk, okay? But other ingredients that actually have character and taste also get you drunk. So I'm experimenting. And I'm also going to tie this all in with, possibly predictably, Sex and the City. And I'm going to do some alternative Cosmos, and we'll tie them to particular characters, I think, just for a bit of fun. The alcoholic beverage is one of the characters. Like, for instance, vodka, which I'm not even going to make. That's obviously Carrie. First thing people think of, bit obvious, a bit bland and boring and overrated, quite honestly. But if we were to get rid of vodka and put in tequila, I think we've got Samantha there. Just a bottle of trouble, really. And if you go gin instead, I think we've got Charlotte there. A little bit sophisticated, a little bit bitter, but always interesting. And finally, I think if we go rum, we've got Miranda. Just seems like a good time. But you know, be careful, because things could get out of control very quickly. So let's go now make a few Sex and the City Girl variant Cosmos. Very quickly, the specific spirits I'm using, although you can use what you have or what you like. For gin, I'm going with a local gin, and I mean it's like just up the road from me, Patient Wolf, made here in Melbourne. This is the one they call their summertime gin. It's an exceptional gin. You know, you might like a London Dry, you might like a more citrus forward one. Go with the gin you have if you're doing the experiment with me. For rum, I'm going with this locally made coconut rum. It's awesome. They actually imported rums from the Caribbean, put it through a filtering process to take the color out, and then did macerations with coconut, wattle seed, and some other amazing things to make a truly exceptional drink. But again, you use the rum that either you have or you like. Finally, the tequila, I'm using a Reposado tequila. That's what I'd recommend because you actually want to taste difference. This is not sneaking something in that you can't tell has replaced the vodka. We actually want these drinks to taste different. Also, I'm going to score these drinks. This is something I actually do when I'm out getting cocktails or when I'm making my own, and I almost never mention it in these videos. I feel like I should. And even for my own reference, which ones I like. I rate cocktails out of 10. If I rate something a 6 out of 10, it was like, well, I'm not getting that again. If I rate it less than 6 out of 10, that's like, I'm never going to that place again, or I'm never trusting that person's recipes again. Less than 6 out of 10 is terrible. 6 out of 10 is not terrible, but I'm not doing it again. 7 out of 10, that's okay, but again, I'm probably not going to drink it again simply because there are so many good cocktails in the world. If someone offered it to me again, I'd go, well, that's a 7 out of 10. I'll have that, why not? But it's not something I'm going to rush to do again. Now, an 8 out of 10, that goes in the little book. Literally, Mrs. Angry keeps notes. An 8 out of 10 is one I'm definitely having again. That's a very good score. A 9 out of 10, that's one that's so good, it's like, I'd honestly like another one of those right now. I want one right now. And I have occasionally rated cocktails at up to 9.5 out of 10. Nothing's 10 out of 10, nothing's perfect, but some of them are like, I think God came down and touched this drink and turned it into a miracle. Please give me another one. So I've never tried these Cosmo variants before, so as I taste them, I'm going to rate them as well. I'm going to follow Dale DeGroff's recipe for this. He didn't invent the Cosmo, but he did popularize it in the 90s, and his recipe is the most popular. So first up with the spirit. First one I'm going to make is the gin one, arbitrarily. You do 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of your spirit. We're also going to add half an ounce of orange liqueur. Delta Groff used triple sec. You can use the one you prefer. I have this locally made dry curacao that I'm using. So we go 15 mils, half an ounce of our orange liqueur. Cranberry juice is the core of the Cosmo, particularly if you make it with vodka. You basically can't taste anything but the cranberry juice, in my opinion. So we will see if any of these other spirits can take the lead from the cranberry juice. But according to the De Groff recipe, we are doing 1 ounce, 30 mils of cranberry. The final touch is just 1/4 of an ounce, 7.5 mils of lime juice to liven it up a bit. Some recipes suggest more than that, I've seen up to 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. I prefer less on the lime juice front, so I'll follow De Groff's recipe. We will go just 1/4 ounce, 7.5 mils of lime juice. That's it. If you like, you could put a dash or two of orange bitters in as well. That's purely optional. Some people like that. I'm not going to. I'm keeping it simple. So we add ice to our shaker, put it together, bang it in hard, and shake for about 10 seconds. We strain that into a suitably elegant glass. If you're being really fussy, you could double strain that. I'm not going to. It's that classic pink Cosmo. Now I'm going to do the same with the rum and the tequila. I won't bother to do that on camera, but I'll be back in a second to compare the three. Time for the taste test. First, the Gin Cosmo, aka the Charlotte. Let's see what this one's like. It's good. The cranberry is not dominating this. But I tell you what, the other flavors have sort of calmed down the juniper side of the gin as well. This is not bad. I probably should preface the scores with, I'm not really into Cosmos, but at this point, I'm giving the Gin Cosmo a 7 out of 10. I think I just got the names wrong. Did I say the gin? The gin is the Charlotte. The gin is the Charlotte. This is the rum. This is the Miranda. Let's see what this one's like. This one I'd rate as marginally better than the gin one. Yeah, I'm giving this one a 7.5. We've saved the most dangerous for last, the tequila, aka the Samantha. Let's see what this is like. Well, let's see. I'd say 7 3/4, just marginally better. I mean, honestly, what it comes down to is I don't like cranberry in cocktails. So I did this for the occasion, but it's never going to be my favorite drink. It's not terrible, and at least they all have their own character, like unlike one made with vodka. But yeah, because for my mind, when you make it with vodka, all you taste is the cranberry. These ones, at least, they bring their own challenge to the cranberry. But I've got to be completely honest, I'm not at all enamored of a Cosmopolitan. I never have been. And yeah, just like, I was reading up on this, like why it was in Sex and the City. It's unsurprisingly because the author whose work it's based on, Candace Bushnell, she loved Cosmos in the 80s and 90s. Like, it's just so unimaginative to think this is a really exceptional drink. Hey, not knocking it. If it's your thing, I would absolutely recommend you try it with a spirit other than vodka, because it just makes it that much more interesting. So if you have a favorite gin, a favorite rum, a favorite tequila, absolutely go for it. And you could go the whole way. I literally mean any spirit as opposed to bloody vodka. I mean, whiskey might be a bit weird, but then again, it might actually work. I don't know. Maybe I'll try one. Not with this though. I'm not a fan of cranberry. I'm never going to be a fan of the Cosmo. It's not terrible, but I'm never going to be a cheerleader for the Cosmo because it's got cranberry, and I'm just not a huge fan of cranberry. I prefer the alcohol to take a front rung, which is why I rarely make cocktails with cranberry or rarely make cocktails with orange juice, because they both tend to overpower a drink. But this is all down to personal taste. So if you like a Cosmo, I think you could have quite an interesting adventure experimenting with different spirits and decide which Sex and the City Cosmo are you? Are you gin? Are you rum? Are you tequila? Don't be vodka. Just don't be vodka. Unless you like it. Look, unless you like it. I'm a big believer in, what's the saying? Don't yuck someone else's yum. But I really would like people who've been drinking vodka cocktails to understand the world has a lot more to offer. And I think the world has a lot more to offer to Cosmos. This is probably the most negative I've been about a cocktail. When I'm only rating something in the 7s, that means I'm not going to make it again. I wouldn't reject it if someone made it for me, but it's just like, it is definitely not my cup of tea. But if you like a Cosmo, go for it. If you like this exploration, I hope you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know if you've ever played around with the ingredients in a Cosmo and if you found something that worked for you. Otherwise, I hope to see you again soon. Until then, I do hope you take care. Take care of people around you as well. And until I do see you again, cheers.